What's going on, everybody? Today on Meeples on the Ground, we're going to just talk about Kickstarter. I love you, but I also kind of hate you. But also hate might be a strong word. Let's get to it. So all my fellow board gamers already know that Kickstarter is an amazing platform where you can get awesome games and Kickstarter exclusive content, which is really cool. But at the same time, with all that great stuff, you have to pay an arm and a leg, or you never get your Kickstarter, or you get your Kickstarter and it wasn't what you were expecting because of the promises that were made and then what was actually delivered. But so even with some of those negatives I just talked about, the Kickstarter has an amazing plethora of all these unique games that otherwise wouldn't be coming out without Kickstarter. So Kickstarter's a pretty amazing place to bring so many cool and unique games to life. But then sometimes I don't want us to forget that there is still that risk of going into a Kickstarter campaign for tabletop games. Because if you don't know the company, or if the company's a reskin of another company that failed or took money or did something devious, then you still have to do your research and your due diligence about checking out if that Kickstarter is something you want to play or if it's a good company to invest your money in. Because again, some of these Kickstarters need a lot of that green. But luckily for everybody out there, all my board gamers out there, there is a plethora of content creators that go ahead and create when Kickstarters are coming out, what the Kickstarter entails, and also how much money. Is it worth your time? Is it worth the effort to do any more research if it's costing you an arm and a leg? Or hey, is this the bang for your buck for this Kickstarter? So there's a lot of good resources out there. You just have to go find it. But luckily there's Board Game Geek. There's a plethora of YouTubers. There's Facebook groups that talk about all these things. By all means, if you just do some research, you can go ahead and find out some good deals on these upcoming and are already funding Kickstarters. So what are some of your ways that you go ahead and go about backing a Kickstarter or seeing if it's even worth your time and effort, and more importantly, your money, because that's Kickstarters aren't usually ever cheap. So what's your process? Let me know in the comments. But for me and Sarah, over here on, again, Meeples on the Ground, we go ahead and, we'll look at the game, we'll go to Tantrum House. Tantrum House usually has a good lineup of what's coming up and sometimes even of what that game is. And then we'll go to the Kickstarter campaign page, and that's kind of like the meat and potatoes for us. Is does it make us feel comfortable to invest our money in this game? How well is it doing already? And also, is it a game that we would want to play? And we check up those things. But another thing that I kind of look for is a video. Is there a video explaining the game? How much does it talk about the game so much? How much does it talk about the game? So there's a lot of factors that go into our research personally. But for me and Sarah, we take a lot of it, deciding if we want to do it or not, on, all our research outside of Kickstarter, but then mainly the Kickstarter page, how well the Kickstarter page is run and operated. Because if it's not that well and run and operated, and it makes us kind of concerned about investing, then we're obviously not going to invest, and we're obviously not going to want to do that game. Or if it's too expensive, we'll just be like, what, this seems like one of those Kickstarters that are going to come to retail, or it's going to be one of those Kickstarters that just it's probably not going to be for us, and there's another Kickstarter coming up in maybe like a few weeks or something like that we'll be more interested in. So let me know about your process in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope your relationship with Kickstarter is a good one, not a very a bad or terrible one at all. But what are your processes? Do you do a lot of Kickstarters? Do you not do a lot of Kickstarters? Would you rather go with publishers? I mean, this is a very interesting and evolving topic, because crowdfunding is always growing, and it seems to be the popular way to get a lot of games, a lot of interest, and a lot of feelers out there for the particular game. So again, just let me know in the comments. I hope you all enjoy this video, and we'll talk to you next time at Meeples of the Ground. So toodles!